Welcome to Little Talks, your weekly dose of marketing news, trends, and insights from Littlefield Agency. Grab your coffee, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
For those of you that are tuning in, we hope that you are watching. We encourage you to watch the video today because welcome back to another edition, a special edition of Little Talks with Littlefield Agency. I am Sam Littlefield. With me is my co-host,
Roop.
And with us is
Trent Guyer, and I think it's because I won a contest, right? Is that why I'm on here?
caller number 10.
Let me
you
tell
were lucky.
you know, like Spotify will tell you you're wrapped for the year.
That's right.
YouTube does it now, and mine says that I'm in the top 10th percent of viewers of this podcast. I guess I thought I won something.
0.01%. You did win something.
You might have lost
Actually,
something.
I think you
We'll see how
lost.
it goes.
We won our 4th annual Trent-a-palooza. Welcome back, Trent Guyer.
Thank you.
It is so good to have you here.
It's great to be here at Christmas time.
Christmas time. It is a week and a half before Christmas. We can't believe it. We have started off on a great note today. Trent and his better half, I hate to say it, it is your better half, Kathy Guyer. We had a wonderful lunch. We shopped around Utica Square. It is a nice, brisk 64 degrees here in Tulsa.
I dressed for Christmas, but I am burning up right now.
I'm in a vest. Again, you guys are watching this, so I don't have to explain this. But it's wonderful, and it's just so great to have Trent here. This has become, obviously, an annual thing. What started out as kind of I don't want to call it a test, but it's like, hey, let's do this. It just gets better every year. The rapport that we've built and having Kathy down here is just awesome. And what I love about it, too, you come bearing gifts.
I did.
I mean, what did we do to deserve this, Ruth?
Well, it's Christmas, so that's what you did deserve it.
So we're holding up here. I've got Sammy, and what do you got there?
Roop is what it says.
And what is that backwards?
Poor, which is not rich.
Not rich. I wrapped these for television, so they should be pretty easy to open.
Can we open these right now, Claude?
Yep, I got you all.
Claude's got one too. Okay, I'm opening. I'm going to open this bad boy right up. Holy smokes.
Whether you use it or add it to the set, I don't know.
Smokes. Oh my gosh. As you are watching this, it says Little Talks. Dude, you even got my beard on there. Are you kidding me? Rube's looking good. Claude, let me see yours.
It's awesome. Thank you, Trent. This is so cool. I love it.
Welcome.
This is awesome.
We can thank AI for that too, right?
Wonderful.
I mean, any website that can take an image and convert it and sell
It's incredible.
Make money off of it.
This is perfect. Okay, brilliant. I found my new coffee mug.
Yeah, it's my new coffee mug.
This is. I don't think this is a prop. I think this is something we use.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, 100%.
For those of you that have tuned in this year but haven't been in years past for Trent-a-palooza, if you do look behind us, we do have bobbleheads of Sam and Roop. It's a prop, obviously. These are usable. Thank you.
Trent brought some other gifts, but I don't know if we're going to talk about those.
They're great gifts.
They're great gifts.
We presented, you're going to see this a little bit later, but we presented Trent, and it's kind of as we tour people around the agency, it's been a lost cause, and it's just this kind of empty, what do you call that?
Dead space.
Dead space. Mm-hmm. And it is a badass movie poster, and Trent is the feature, and it is, we're very excited. We brought Kathy up here to show her. That is Roop and Claude. I got to give them credit. That I had nothing to do with that one. So
that means with that hubbub that you've created with that poster that maybe my boys will actually watch this podcast now.
Yeah. Excuse me, Charlie and James and Andrew. This one's for you. I told your dad, surely you guys will at least listen to this episode and each year going forward. But
yes, please.
Okay, we're excited. So here's the thing for our listeners. Lucky you. We have a 30-minute hard stop because we don't want to piece together some things. So we are going to move along accordingly. And lucky for you all, actually very, very fortunate and lucky for you all, Trent is doing most of the talking today. He listened to us all year. I know, we have sweet, soothing voices, but today is Trent's day, Dewey. You have a better voice than I do.
Oh, I love your voice.
I don't know. Well, Claude, I'm really trying to I just like to.
I appreciate it.
I'm supposed to not project past my microphone.
Don't bump it.
Don't bump it. So with that, we have a topic, but there's 3 different segments of this. So Claude, let's do it. Roop, take it away.
So the topic today is winning B2B commerce in 2026 and beyond. Efficiency and effectively.
Oh, God, you've only had one drink. Come on.
Yeah, not only half at that. So we're going to talk about AI. Shocker. This is what we always talk about. And the first of our 3-parter here is data in an AI world. I love talking about data in an AI world. I like using AI for art as well, which is how we generated your poster in the hallway. and how you made these cups for us. It's awesome. It's not awesome if you're a brand right now to be using AI art and putting commercials out. People don't like that. But there's another way to use AI that makes total sense from almost every brand, and that's managing your data. So we got some stats here I wanted to read off the script. 69% of bad data is listed as the biggest barrier for brands, right? So like you have bad data, it's not going to get better magically with AI. That makes sense. 89% of B2B users plan to use AI tools to purchase products versus just 34% of B2C, which is kind of a crazy stat to me.
Let's stop right there. Trent, react to that.
Yeah, I thought that was something we talked about a year or two ago, too. It's just like this point's right here, that B2B customers, whether government users or straight B2B, want that Amazon experience in every facet of their life. And I think that's what that says here.
Absolutely. And we will hit on that
as far as
here in a little bit. Yes, absolutely. Continue, Rube.
So, we've used AI for data manipulation or cleanup here quite a bit. We've used it with you guys for some stuff we're doing with Mike on HubSpot. We've used it to try and identify anomalies or patterns in data. Chris and I have a project going right now that runs through 17,000 different segments of persona data and kind of returns relevant results, because otherwise you're human. You might miss something going through 17,000 rows.
17,000 rows, absolutely.
It's a lot. So data is totally fine here. The important part, though, is that you have some sort of clean data to work from, and you aren't just leaping into AI and hoping it's going to make everything better, because it won't. It's in code language or programmer language, you talk about trash in, trash out, and that's all. Trash in data is trash out results. So this other stat here is that 91% plan to invest in data cleanup before moving on to advanced tools. That should be 100%. And you guys are doing this right now, actually, with NetSuite, right?
Yeah, we're getting ready to transition from our legacy ERP system that we've had from Go, really, probably back from punch card days even.
Wow.
and going to NetSuite. And so we've taken when project start to finish, it'll have been about a 12-month process to do all that. I think, speaking to the bad data, good data stuff, we're pretty good.
Yeah,
we're a lot better than most people. I had made a note of this. I thought this was interesting, and this is very much a generalization. So anybody I work with, I don't mean this specific to you. I think this is just you could say this in any industry. I think when you're looking at the data, that the technology is always good. It's the people that maybe cause the headaches and the problems, generally speaking. Again. So IT might just they'll say, it's just data. We're taking field headers in our legacy system, matching it up to NetSuite. That's really easy just to match it over, right? You've got names and address, all that. That should be a real easy connector. Sales and marketing and accounting go, we spent a lot of time to gather those names and to refresh the database or whatever we did to clean that up. So that's not just data. And then the execs come along and they say, when is this done? When's this feature going live, right?
So true.
How much have we spent? Move it along.
Yeah.
So you've got the different areas of your world, I guess, that you have to keep happy and have to see from different perspectives.
And as you're talking about data, Trent, we're talking business data, we're talking marketing data, we're talking everything, correct?
Everything.
Yep, perfect. Yep. Awesome. Especially from an ERP standpoint, which we know is quite the undertaking. 12 months, worth every second of the process.
It's not something you speed through.
No. I think we meet every day. We do meet every day, and we might have multiple meetings, and it's just some facets of it right now. We haven't gotten to some of the other ones yet.
Yeah.
We're some of the big picture ones that take a little bit of time to line out, and then say January we'll start meeting on a different part of it and work through that.
There's always those kind of easy one-to-one connections that are
easier.
They'll give you false confidence early on, right? Then you hit those kind of tough
ones. Well, and you bring something up that's really interesting, trash in, trash out. And Trent and I have had multiple conversations over the last few weeks, months, et cetera. He and his company are way ahead in the sense of, I don't want to call it data manipulation, but good data. And what are you doing with that data? Using AI, please.
True. That is true. Gathering it, we have a lot of that. Looking at it takes some time, though. So
100%.
And I'm going way back. Like if you look historically, you had it on green bar report. And you couldn't analyze it very well. You couldn't put it into a sheet to run any sort of AI on it because it was basically text on a page. So a person had to sit here and look at it and maybe number crunch or whatever. And now at least those numbers are in a PDF that maybe you can search, but you still can't manipulate them because they're coming out of that legacy system. So that has resulted over the years in making a lot more gut decisions. The data was there, and I probably said this last year. This is just bears repeating, that we spend a lot of time entering the data and no time left over, it felt like, to analyze the data.
Yeah.
And so, of course, NetSuite will help us with that. So that had resulted over the years of making us make decisions with our gut. You know, we generalized a lot. Think of a Nielsen rating, I guess, where you knew a little bit about an audience, so therefore you extrapolate that out over across the rest of the audience. So I think we maybe tended to do that a little bit. You knew a little bit about some of your retail customers or your retail dealers. So you'd say, okay, we have to make those gut decisions because there's really no good way to analyze all that data. But
so true.
Will completely change that. And AI has allowed us to change that as well.
Read that one line.
Yeah, this is I love this. Data makes you fast, and your gut keeps you right.
By the way, we told Trent he's got to TM that. That's so good.
It's pretty good. That's the data equivalent of, we talk about, human in the loop. Anytime AI is touching anything, you want to keep a human in the loop.
Very nice.
And that's totally true here for data as well.
Rube, what else on this topic?
I'm going to end it because I got the 10-minute signal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got signals today, guys.
We're moving.
This is very, very legit. Anything wrapping that segment, Trent? You good?
I think what I had made a note here was, if your data is good, can you set your budget on it? Can you bet your budget? Are your analytics and your data so good that you can go to your C-suite and say, hey, can I get some funds for this project or whatever? Do you trust it enough to be able to do that?
Yeah, what a beautiful world and case to have. Should you have that opportunity?
It's the promise of data. Everyone gets tickled with that, right? They're like, "Oh, we can. This is great." But you guys are doing the hard work. NetSuite is helping you do the hard work. The organization and the cleaning is what makes that possible.
I want to add this. I just saw this on a Master B2B podcast they did just the other day, just this week, and I thought this was pretty relevant here. They said that they're finding that people are able to get money from the C-suite when they say it's for AI. The C-suite doesn't know what that means exactly. It's for AI.
I did that. I did that with him.
It's a pie in the sky thing, right? Just say that.
Yeah.
And
you know what?
It, right?
And we were having a conversation before this. This is obviously a massively shiny object. But justified. This is the world we live in. We need to make that happen.
They're just happy that they're happy that their rank and file are on the cutting edge thinking forward. I think
absolutely
is what that probably means.
Kind of like web back in the early 2000s, and digital. Such a kind of a black box. Okay, that's a nice segue, Trent. So as we think about B2B commerce reality in an Amazonian world, and we for those of you that listened to this podcast last year, and we know there's hundreds of you that have. We briefly broached this subject, but talk to us about Master B2B and your connection with them, because Andy and Brian are awesome. You're a face of that. Call it a network. So for our listeners that haven't heard of them, give us a quick spiel.
Yeah, so it's a network of B2B practitioners, distributors, brand manufacturers, any sort of thing like that, and we are part of a forum, so you can apply to be a part of this, and you sign in, and we'll ask questions. No vendors are allowed to be on there, and so we can have frank discussions and say, hey, what do you think of NetSuite? Or hey, I'm looking for an AI provider. Which one's the best one? Or I had a real problem with such and such. How do you feel about it? That sort of thing. And then they also have roundtable discussions if they find that some people can't pay to go to some of their in-person events, and so they'll have an evening roundtable with a dinner, Cleveland, Denver, Dallas, and they'll pick different places around the country. They also attend some different B2B functions that they don't put on, but when they do that, then they'll have a dinner, and they'll gather a bunch of practitioners and some vendors together. And it gives a good opportunity with, you're relaxed and you're able to have
break bread, have a glass of wine, and have open conversations with like-minded individuals.
So I did that a couple weeks ago, and I met some possible vendors for different things like
very cool
online credit, extending credit to your B2B, like our dealers. If we were to do that using an online form, there's some different things for that. There's just all sorts of things.
And they're very focused on commerce and e-commerce, and I think there's some great stats. And Trent, I'm going to let you read through some of your favorites here.
Yeah, a lot of this comes from them, so I must give credit to them.
Please cite them, yeah.
We're amplifying them here.
We usually just like to promote our podcast, but we're friends.
Yeah,
right?
Sure.
So Andy and Brian, this one's for you, please.
They had pointed out from some data, they survey us often, and they have put together some of this data, and as well they also like to go and say, here, what do you need to be able to get ready going forward, and what are we looking for? What are the topics you're looking for in the future? And they had talking about the Amazon thing we're talking about. They had said that over half of companies prioritize Amazon-like search and navigation. So that comes back to you want to have an Amazon life in your B2B world. So that's important. That they often cite, 60% cited that they lose sales due to a poor user experience on their site. So your site's not optimized. Your user experience is not great. So that's something you need to shore up. They also said that 2/3 of buyers say that vendor reputation and thought leadership directly influences their list of inclusion of who they look to for a vendor.
Are you going to pass out over here, Roop? Did you hear that's your world, brother?
I know, this is all really good stuff.
You're blushing.
So some of it comes from the quad, the matrix that they look into, or if that comes from
You know what I love most about that?
LinkedIn or whatever.
We talk about the Amazon experience. I don't think anyone would say Amazon is a beautiful website.
No, not at all.
At all. But the ease of use of it is top shelf.
And the 60% stat, 60% lose sales to poor UX, just like what you hit on, and only 30% feel they meet modern buyer expectations, which is crazy. I mean, you would think in the age of 2025, on the heels of 2026 here, that brands would figure this out. It's a consumer or B2B, right?
I think speaking specifically of Amazon, I think they're scared of it. And Brian helped me with his company, helped me figure that out about 5 years ago. And we baby stepped it, and they did the brunt of the work. I mean, we came up with we gave them our part numbers and our descriptions, and then they SEO beautified it, optimized all of that stuff. And I wrote this that I didn't share with you. I thought this was a pretty interesting thing, and I would just say, brands, any Littlefield brand or anybody else who has a product that they could sell on e-commerce, I would say get your brand on Amazon. Or don't, if you don't care if an unauthorized seller or person living in a cul-de-sac is selling your product. And you laugh at that.
It happens.
I just had to shut somebody down this week on that they were buying our transmission fluid, and they resell it on Amazon.
No freaking kidding.
And I learned this also this week, that often happens. There's a website. Have you heard of Camel?
No.
Yes, literally. Camel 3 times.
3 times.
It's a free website where you can put in an item on Amazon and watch the price of it. And when the price goes down because of a Prime Day or a closeout or whatever, that's when people buy a stock up of this, and then they'll go sell it themselves on eBay or somewhere else and make a few dollars margin on it.
Good Lord.
That feels like a hard hustle.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Don't you live in the cul-de-sac, Roop?
No, I live in a corner.
Just kidding.
I used to live in a cul-de-sac.
So those people are out there. I've got 2 more I want to say.
No, please.
So that's one person type of person you can lose your Amazon to if you're not the brand owner of your brand on Amazon. Also, if you don't mind how the product's represented. If you don't mind that the feature bullets are very vague and the pictures are garbage or whatever, or have been replaced. The pictures maybe that if you do have a listing and then pictures that you put up there got replaced by somebody else because they latched onto your listing.
Yeah.
So that's somebody else. Or if you just don't mind people getting onto your listing and getting below map pricing and just pricing it down to the bottom until they get the buy box. I mean, that's who wins. That's who gets the sale. People have no idea. When you go on Amazon, you usually probably just hit the button to buy. You don't look who the supplier is.
No, don't care.
Most often, if you're buying some glasses, probably ships from an Amazon warehouse. If you're buying Grasshopper hydrostatic fluid, it ships from us, or it might ship from a dealer or somebody.
Yeah.
But you don't know that, and people will just keep lowering the price till they get that buy box so they can get that sale. Otherwise, they don't sell anything.
Good Lord. See, I had
So
no
if you
idea.
don't control that, it just gets out of
Amazon has its own kind of SEO kind of universe, and that pricing is definitely part of it, I think. Yeah.
Well, and if you go too low or too high, they say that you're not within the market value because they compare it to other sites, and then they'll delist you as a seller.
Oh, I didn't know that. So they do have some safeguards in there.
They do a little bit, but they definitely care about the customer. Yeah.
And we talk about, thank you, Claude. We talk about, and we've talked about it for years, but never in the sense of commerce and e-commerce. And what everything Trent just hit on is absolutely spot on. Of this B2B mentality in a B2C world, and B2B companies have to understand with this shift in consumer buying behavior.
Yeah.
It's get in it now, or you're in a lot of trouble in the years to come. Because it's these stats when we're here next year for the 5th, this is just going to increase.
Yeah.
And Trent, as we wrap this point, these 2 points here that you provided, if you could read those aloud, that'd be awesome.
Make it easy to find, easy to buy, and easy to trust. Don't ever give a customer a reason to regret after the fact doing business with you. And that is one thing I learned way back in 2017 when I was starting my journey of researching this. Don't ever make them regret that they did business with you.
So here you are, and I could not agree more. And there's, unfortunately, and I think Chick-fil-A, right? Like the world of customer service that we live in, people have a bad experience. There's a damn good chance they're not going to come back and interact with your brand. So everything that Trent just read aloud is very, very important. And so here's our question for you. There's a lot of moving pieces in the world of B2B commerce, e-commerce, et cetera. And you all have a pretty nimble team. So as you interact with other, B2B partners, we call it small teams, big stakes. Billion-dollar companies, hundreds of millions in annual revenue. No matter what the size, how do they have time to do this? And what tips do you have for B2B marketers out there to where they can capitalize in this world of commerce?
I always thought that we were unique. For a long time, I was a team of one or a department of one in e-commerce, and then I've got a few people who help me. And then I mentioned Brian Beck's company. So in Seba, they have become our marketing agency for Amazon specific. And so really now I've got a team of 10 at their place. Littlefield does some things for us when it comes to promoting online, but not necessarily specific e-commerce. And then
not yet.
Yeah, right. That's right. And so you end up, but the point being, and when it comes to marketing in general, you've expanded your team. So it's not that we have a market. In our office, we got 5 marketing people. Well, we don't really, because then you look at the Littlefield office.
Of course, and there's
add
13
20,
that touch your account,
20
right?
People,
Yeah.
whatever that is to that. So now that it's expanded. I thought that was unique to us a little bit, and that we maybe were behind, or that it was really stretching ourselves thin. But that was one thing that the Master B2B survey found, that over half of large enterprises, billion-dollar companies, have staffs of 10 in their e-commerce department. And that's one thing I've heard at the Master B2B Summit that I go to every year that Brian and Andy host. They've said the same thing, that, who did I talk to? Panasonic, some multinational.
I've heard of them.
Have you heard of them?
Bajillion-dollar brand.
You probably own some of their things, TVs and whatnot. They were just learning. They were at this to try to learn, how do I spin up this business, or how do I go about this? Because there's a couple of us doing this. And so that's a very common thing. And so if that makes you, I guess if your barrier is you feel like you're understaffed, well, so is everybody else, but you can get it done with a small staff.
Yeah.
Because you're using other people. You're utilizing the experts in their field at that.
And what I would add to that, especially knowing your personal love for AI, just a couple of tips and tricks in the sense of, hey, for those people that are feeling the stress and they've got these lean teams, you've created automations and workflows in your day personally and obviously professionally. So you heavily lean into AI to allow you to do more. And it's not like you're working 90 hours a week and you're getting stuff done and you're making moves and you're making money. So, one or two things just in the sense of, there's a lot of people that everyone talks about AI, but people actually, practicing what they preach. Is there anything in this world that you can tell them? And I think it might go back to the good clean data using AI, and to just better understanding purchasing behaviors to drive commerce. Any thoughts there?
Well, when you started talking about AI, I thought of two different things. I thought of one thing that was a little bit offline, but I also thought of something more related to online. We developed a hotspot generator using AI. We told AI what we needed, and we said we have for our website, we have these images that say come out of our operator's manual that have a schematic of an assembly, and the number 1 points to this, and that identifies such and such a part over in the list. Well, we digitize that and put that on our website. Item 1, 2, 3, all these different items. But you have to hotspot that, so then when you're on the website and you hover over it and it shows you the item, we went to AI and said, hey, we need the old way that we've had to replace it. So we need this that does this. When I click on this number, it assigns these coordinates of that item, and then I can export that as a CSV and give that to the web people. So we built that. So
but that's amazing. And again, it goes back to, and I have to tell Trent all the time, sometimes he feels like he's behind, and sometimes we as an agency feel like we're behind, right? And we're all so far ahead of this. And so I don't want to call that a little thing. That's a very impressive, what I would call, workflow that you've built.
Yeah, and I think it's easy when you're sitting in your, I do it here even, you're sitting in your silo and you're like, oh man, no one, I'm so far behind. No. Then you start talking to people and realizing, oh no, you're doing pretty good. Yeah. Like, you're further ahead than you think.
Oh my gosh, of course.
But you know what keeps us going is that concept of, I got to try harder. I got to keep this. I got to learn this. I got to whip this thing.
Yeah. The other one that I was thinking of doing, that I wanted to answer your question, was I do a lot of deep research. And so here's a good example. I went to this B2B conference, and I did not have time to attend the entire conference over the course of 3 days. I went for a day. And they had a list of sponsors, and those sponsors got to have tables as like, trade show booth or whatever, and you got to speak to this company that handled AI data this way and this one that did this sort of thing or whatever. I didn't get to have time to talk to all of those, so I found the list online on the show promotion site, added all those to ChatGPT and used deep research and said, okay, I would like to know about every one of these companies at this event. Tell me about them, tell me what they do, and tell me how useful they can be in my business. And of course, as much as I use chat, and as anybody would use it, it remembers now who you are. And so when I say something about my company, it knows that I mean Grasshopper Mowers.
Yes.
And so it then answers me directly how that can affect me. Again, this is also offline, but we did some market research. Hey, should we enter a market, Thailand? Should we be looking for a distributor there? Well, let's give me the dossier on that country and tell me what other brands are out there and all these things that would have taken you.
Oh my God!
Forever, months.
Yeah, months. Absolutely.
Maybe never you would have gotten that data.
Right?
Maybe you'd go to the CIA fact book that they generate for you to get some top level details. Maybe you'd have to find some partner on the ground, or you'd actually have to go over there and knock on doors. I don't know how that'd work. But you're saving possibly thousands of dollars by doing that sort of thing.
Definitely thousands.
So anything
of dollars.
that you've thought that you've wanted to know about, deep research for that. That's about
money
right.
and time well spent right there.
I don't want to spoil it on here, but Mike and I have worked on something that's kind of using AI and data that kind of identifies some things similar to that.
Okay. So here's the thing: I've got the marker from Claude. I think we've got 2-ish minutes. Is that right? Okay, look at us. We're efficient today. So for our listeners, this is a special day, and we're just getting started here. The fun, while this is fun, the fun even continues later on. One fun thing, we have a surprise gift for you. This is not going to be opened on air because we are going to be at time, and this is probably going to take about 5 minutes to open, but we've got a special Trent present here. Take a look at the landing page when this goes live. This will be the GIF, and this is pretty fun. I got to give credit to Roop and Claude here. But Trent, for our 4th annual, 5 will be here before we know it. We appreciate you as a partner.
5. I was going to say 5 Timers Club.
I think that's a jacket. Yeah, right. Yeah, jacket and some nice cigars. He is an amazing client. Almost 10 years in the making. The most important thing and my favorite thing, he has become an even better friend. And so while we are here today, client and agency relationship, I look at this as 3 friends having a drink, wrapping our day, and enjoying a great time. So gentlemen,
cheers.
Trent,
cheers to that.
Here's to 4. We can't wait until 5. Roop, I love seeing you.
Oh, there you go.
And Claude, thank you for dealing with us. To our listeners, we will have one more episode in 2025. We will see you next week. Trent, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I love coming down here, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Adios.
And that's a wrap. We hope you found a spark of inspiration for your marketing strategy. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us at Littlefield Agency to keep the conversation going. Catch you next time.